Well, that wraps up practice number 5, and we've had minimal injuries, guys missing. We've had a couple. Yesterday, Andrew Gantz pulled a muscle in his kicking leg. Josh Paisley kicked today and did very well. I think he made 7 out of 8, and got everybody out of running at the end, so he's their hero as we speak. Hopefully we can get Andrew back in a few weeks, but it's a pretty severe pull. And we got 3 guys tomorrow that are going to be evaluated in terms of pull muscles or knees, and possibly 1 broken bone. So we hope to get them back soon. We'll see what the prognosis is tomorrow. But not a very good day in terms of last 2 days in shoulder pads. Today was full pads. We're still turning the ball over. Quarterbacks are throwing the ball up for grabs. We turned over 6 yesterday and 3 today. Can't win any games. We found that out last year. I don't care how good a defense you play or offense you play, you turn it over. So that'll be a concern, and we'll stress that tremendously as we go through the next 4 weeks to the first game. Hopefully we start protecting the ball better. Our offensive line's getting better. Coach Grimes has done a good job. First and second group. Looks like we're going to have 7 or 8 guys that we're going to be able to count on out of the about 15 on scholarship. A lot of young guys. And so, we've got to get much better with technique, and that's all we're going to do for the next 2 weeks is just stress technique, fundamentals, and try to get better. We've got to do a better job with 2 young offensive tackles that's going to be taking the brunt of the load that hadn't played much football on this level. Defensively, we're making strides. We've got more athletes. We've got guys running to the ball. We're keeping them healthy. And we need to continue to do that. We will take tomorrow off. We'll have nothing but walkthroughs and meetings, and we'll have media at our pitcher day tomorrow. So after 5 days, we need to get their legs back a little bit, and then Thursday we'll go 5 straight days again. So first 5 days were, I thought, very, very good. We're not a good football team right now. We've got a lot of young guys that's got to get better and better that taking over for graduating seniors from last year. Questions from the audience?
How do you coach turnovers out? How do you coach them out of them?
Well, most of them are by the quarterbacks, and so what happens in practice is there's no consequences, and so they take chances and try to force the ball. And so we're going to start coming up with things, especially the scrimmage that we got coming up. You get a more realistic view of it. Of how they protect the football. I can understand a little bit of it in practice. They hadn't seen some of the coverages that they're seeing, but again, it becomes a habit. And last year was a habit, and it's not going to be a habit this year. We'll get in a single wing, hand the ball off every time. We're going to throw interceptions.
How much do you credit as far as the turnovers to the defense, the guys stepping up on defense?
Yeah, and Coach Gilhammer's done a very good job. We've added some things that we haven't run, and we've been running them all through spring, all the first 5 days, and it's made a difference in us getting turnovers, which is very good. We got to be in the plus side this year, and that's our goal. If we can be in the plus side, we'll win a lot of football games because we've got enough talent to get that done. We've just got to understand that no matter how talented you are, if you turn the ball over, it's going to cost you some games like it did last year.
Avery Johnson starting to flash his potential.
Avery had a couple of drops today, had a couple yesterday. That's a concern, but he's learning how to get open. I worry more about the route running than the technique right now. Obviously, that you got to do all those things, but at the end of the day, you got to catch the football. He'll do that. His mind is spinning right now because we've added a couple of new things in the last few days for receivers. But I've been real pleased with the receivers. We're going to be fine. We just got to stay away from the injury bug, and knowing that the more guys that sit out or don't go, that means a less experienced guy goes. But all the young guys are really doing well. Their head spinning, and probably 1 or 2 of them are going to have to play. But Beard is the one I've been really impressed with. Young kid that last year hurt his knee in a Miami game. He continues to make plays, and they had a drop today in a crucial 3rd down drill. But I think this is a type of kid we're going to be able to count on going into early part of the season till some of the older guys grow up.
with the single wing in the back of your mind there, how do you like your running back group behind Boone and Tion?
Boone and Tion are going to be a very good 1-2 punch, but we found out in our last 3 years that normally your first and second team guys are going to take a pretty good beating, and your third and fourth team guys have to be there to make plays. We've got two very good guys in Chad Bansbach and Dante Buckley. You know, Buckley's he's been with us. He left us. He came back, and he really brings some experience there. He is a senior, but it's good to have 4 running backs we think we can count on now. We've got 2 younger guys that redshirted last year that are behind those 2 guys in experience, and they've got a lot of talent. It's just I hope we don't get to that point of having to play that deep on the depth chart unless we have some games where we can get them in the game.
You talked about Beard's ability. How much has it helped? One, he came out of Texas, but he also was at IMG Academy, which kind of advances kids as far as their ability.
Well, in Texas, again, I was, the 3 years I was out there, I used to drive my son to all these 7-on-7 practices and scrimmages on Saturday, and they have a great 7-on-7 league out there, and he obviously come from that. And he's a product of running routes every day in his life for probably the last 7 or 8 years, and competing against good talent, good secondaries and linebackers on the high school level. And he brings a level of confidence, and he's actually a good coach for us too. He helps all the other guys, even though he's a young player that has got 4 years left after getting hurt early in the season last year. He got the year back. He's kind of like a seasoned vet, so it helped him coming from a state that had a huge league in 7-on-7, and they compete every day.
Anything else?
Thank y'all very much.